Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the Mina channel. Today we're gonna be doing this fantastic video here idea I just had the other day because we obviously don't know much about Persona 6. Persona 6 is around the horizon. We can imagine that it's gonna come out at some point. So today we're gonna talk about the dungeon crawling aspect of Persona 6 particularly. So the Persona games had a long history of obviously going to different dungeon crawling scenarios. One is in Persona 1, where it's a first person dungeon crawling type. Persona 2, where it's more obviously third person, but there is a randomized, it's in the city, but the all the enemies are randomized and they pop up at different times and everything. You actually don't even see them, they just kind of pop up. Then Persona 3 really changed things when you have this randomized dungeon that just kind of pops up and you go through the different floors. It's not really imaginative and it's kind of boring at some points, but there are some aspects to it that I like and some aspects that I don't like. Definitely it gets really boring really fast, but at the same time you can see your enemies now, you can attack them. Persona 4 revolutionized that. Not really, it had the same idea, but it has separate dungeons for separate scenarios, different dungeons for particular people, created with a specific team, which was a really interesting idea at the time. Obviously the gameplay was still really similar in the randomized aspect, but having a specified dungeon with a specific team with music and everything really changed things up for the series. And obviously Persona 5 now really changed that when it has no randomized dungeons. Every dungeon is handcrafted for a specific scenario and for a specific part of the story, which I think I like a little bit more. You can still attack the enemies and then the enemies do the things and everything like that. So a lot of these aspects have been, you can really see an evolution when it comes to the dungeon crawling aspect from Persona 1 all the way to Persona 5. Now Persona 6 is obviously coming at some point, and I would like to discuss what I would like to see on a dungeon or the dungeons for the game obviously. So one of the aspects that I liked about the this is obviously depersonalized dungeons for specific story aspects. I really like that a lot because it really makes sense when you're in a specific part of the story and you're doing something like that. Now this happens in a lot of RPGs. This is not revolutionary or anything like that. I was being sarcastic earlier, but it is an idea that should probably stick in with the series. Now I did like the idea of handcrafted scenarios, when it's more like it's not really randomized, but it's all crafted, it's all the same all the time. However, I would like to see maybe some floors be randomized, and the reason for that being is when you play this game multiple times, like I have played all the Persona games at least 2 or 3 times, so at this point I know the dungeons in Persona 5 are the back of my hand, and I know everywhere is and everything like that, and it does get kind of repetitive. That's one aspect that I can give about randomized dungeons. You don't know where things are. You know, you have to find the stairs. You have to do this stuff. You have to explore around a bit. It does keep the sense of mystery a little bit, and I would like to see that maybe more in the next game. Maybe a combination between handcrafted dungeons with some floors that are randomized, just to kind of spice things up here and there. I think that will be my key of what they could do. That will be good and everything. As far as enemy variations and everything, I love it when you can see the enemies pop up and you can kind of attack them and everything like that, surprise them, all the different tools that you can do and everything. That is pretty cool. I really like that aspect overall. I would like to see maybe a little bit more enemy variation. Previous Persona games had really repetitive variations of demons when it comes to the shadows that you are attacking and everything. They typically just look the same, they just have different color schemes that change and everything. Persona 5 mitigated this by just attacking the personas or the demons, shadows, whatever you want to call it, and then they turn into, you know, they join your party and everything as part of your personas. So I don't know if I like that too much. That is really something borrowed from Shin Megami Tensei. Shin Megami Tensei always has the idea of recurring demons, and they join your party and they're part of your party and everything. Obviously Persona and Shadows don't work the same way. The idea of it doesn't work for me in that sense, because of the way that Persona works and everything like that. It's not SMT, but the idea of recruiting shadows or demons is interesting, and it's always been a staple of the series. I think we can continue with that. Maybe add more layers to that and everything. I always thought that it was kind of bare bones, especially for Persona 5 and everything. So if they can add more layers to getting the recruiting the demons or the shadows and everything, that would be pretty cool and interesting. I'd just like to see something new to kind of spice things up. I think I always liked when people really think outside of the box and try to get different stuff and everything. I really like that idea because if they are trying to make something interesting, they definitely will, and I'm very excited to see what they can come up with, because it's always fun to see what they can come up with, different dungeons and everything. I particularly would like to see more new personas or demons or shadows, whatever you want to call them. I like to see them make more new ones. There's a lot that they haven't explored yet from SMT. There's a lot of demons that we never seen in Persona from Shin Megami Tensei. Maybe they can bring some of them, make up some new ones. There's a lot of untapped goddesses and gods and monsters that they can still make from and everything. So I think at these points I'll just like to see more variation, more stuff to be added into the game and everything, because there's still a lot of stuff that they haven't really brought in and everything. Anyway, that is pretty much in this video here. As far as what I like to see in dungeons and everything, we haven't talked about combat yet because I want to make a separate video about it, but obviously, turn-based RPG will still be a staple in the series, and that's still something that I would like to see them continue. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. If you're new, please consider liking and subscribing. Let me know in the comments below, what do you want to see in a Shin Megami Tensei game or a Persona game when it comes to the dungeon crawling aspect. Is there something particularly you like or you don't like? Anyway, that's it for today. I'll see you guys next time.